So good evening everyone. I hope everyone is good and everyone is preparing well for the APSC CCE Mains that will be upcoming by the next of September. So since we all are going ahead with the full-fledged APSC CCE Mains 2025 50 days live session. So today I can say that I will be going ahead with a particular topic of your syllabus, and how that particular topic is relevant for your upcoming mains. What are some of the previous year's questions that can be seen from this particular topic in the UPSC mains, and also the relevant current affairs associated with that particular topic, and how to write and crack this particular questions if it comes in your upcoming mains. A gute process to aji ami a particular video to janim. Okay, so I will not take much of our time. So this is internal security, linkages between development and spread of extremism. So today, out of this 50 days session, today the lecture is 8. So this is lecture 8. So for internal security, this is the second lecture that I am taking, but overall if I say this is lecture 8. So let's start with the topic of today, that is the linkages between development and spread of extremism, which includes understanding the root causes of extremism, the socio-economic and political factors that contribute to it, and the impact of extremism on development. If I say about a particular topic like this, linkages between development, you need to know what actually is the factors for development, what type of things are necessitated for development. Tar uporot, you definitely has to know what is the spread of extremism, and before that you have to know what is extremism. So if I refer to about the tendency of extremism, mo hoday class bilakot ko ISM jetia jot log hoi jai, it definitely becomes an ideology. It definitely becomes an ideology. Fine. So now if I refer about a term that is extremism, okay, so one should know that extremism is the quality or state of being extreme, and that can be the use of violence, or I can say that means the use of some form of theory. So if today I say extremism, it would refer to terrorism, it would refer to insurgency, it would refer to Maoism, everything which ultimately culminates to become extremism. Because today this terrorism, insurgencies, Maoism, they all are taking some extreme steps which ultimately leads to a concept which is referred to as the extremist ideas. So supposedly this is a particular topic which is given in your GS3 paper under the internal security heading, linkages between development and spread of extremism. That means how development can impact the spread of extremism or extremist ideas. Jot development nohoy, tat enekwa dhoronor extremist idea propagate hoy. But jot development hobo, why people will go and propagate extremist ideas? Definitely they will not do. So a factors bilak ase. If I refer about some of the previous year's questions, moi loisu 2013 pora 2013. Okay, you can see there is a question that came during this time. Article 244 of the Indian Constitution relates to administration of scheduled areas and tribal areas. Analyze the impact of non-implementation of the provisions of 5th schedule on the growth of left-wing extremism. So yate ami ki dekhisu eta dekhisu interrelation. Why this interrelation is necessary and why we have noted the interrelation thing? Interrelation to necessary kiho karne? So yate jetia article 244 or kotha koa ase, that means yate amar polity knowledge lagibone. Polity knowledge definitely lagibo. Article 244 ot lagibo, aru eta kot lagibo, aru eta lagibo 5th schedule. তো পলিটিৰ দুটা বস্তু সোমাই আছে, আৰ্টিকল 244 and 5th schedule. Okay, so that means what? The question is for left-wing extremism, which is basically what? Which is basically a question from internal security. But if you don't know polity, can you answer this particular question? You will not. So that means you need to understand the interrelation of article 244. You need to relate it with 5th schedule, and ultimately by knowing article 244 and 5th schedule, you would ultimately land up in writing the answer in respect of LWE, and that is the type of questions which are asked in the exams like UPSC. Okay. Next, if I say about the second one, the second question in 2015, it has come, okay, generally we have seen and we have seen the trend that judi 2013 sonot question to khudise, ek bosoror eta gap dise, aru ek bosoror gapot a particular area pora question khudha nai. So within a year gap in 2015, another question came into prominence and that relates with LWE. So, second question 2015 or ahise. The persisting drives of the government for development of large industries in backward areas have resulted in isolating the tribal population and the farmers who face multiple displacement with Malkangiri and Naxalbari foci. Discuss the corrective strategies needed to win the left-wing extremism doctrine affected citizens back into the mainstream of social and economic growth. Here also LWE is asked. Agor LW2 relation kar logot asile, polity logot asile. But yate we can see the persisting drives of the government for development of large industries in backward areas. That means at some point of time I can see the relation of this particular question with governance. Governance or logot moi eta relation dekha paisu. Tar pisot ki koise? In isolating the tribal population and the farmers who face multiple displacement with Malkangiri and Naxalbari areas, discuss the corrective strategies needed to win the LWE doctrine affected citizens back into mainstream of social and economic growth. Here, you should also know about the society and you should know about the economy of this particular question. So, governance will basically cover your GS2 portion. Indian society will come under GS1 and economy will come under GS3. So that means what I am telling? I am telling that every particular question has got some correlation and interrelation with the other subjects of the GS. That's why it's basically my opinion as well as the opinion of a humongous people who are preparing for the civil services, that whenever you study in a correlation or in an interrelation, ultimately you can write a very vivid answer, and that answer will definitely make the whole demand of the question very interesting as well as very much appropriate for the respective examiner to check out. Fine. So that is basically one of the core demand that you needs to see. Okay. Now, if I have to go with the next question that came around in 2016. Okay. So in this particular question, the LWE factor is not given because already 2013, 2015 not khudile. So 2013, 2015 not khuda loga lage people got conscious that LWE barepoti ahi ase to LWE to akobar bhalke poho. But this time the question was different and this time the question was related to insurgency. The northeastern region of India has been infested with insurgency for a long period. Analyze the major reasons for the survival of armed insurgency in the region. When it says about northeastern region, I will say that this question has a correlation with Indian geography. This particular question has a correlation with Indian geography. Indian geography kot pohi asa? GS1. You are studying it in GS1. The northeastern region. Because the main reasons of insurgency is often hidden with the subjects of Indian geography. Because of various geographical challenges, today we can see that northeastern region has got connectivity problem, northeastern region has got enough of mineral resources, but it has not been exploited well. So, enukwa bahut dhoroner situations ase. For that you need to have a good understanding of geography, for which the northeastern region is very famous. Okay, so ultimately here you need to go ahead with the term insurgency, how you need to study insurgency in a correlation with geography. Okay, now again by the time of 2017, because we all know LWE is a very favorite region for the UPSC, and even if I say about APSC, this is a very favorite region where questions are generally asked. LWE is showing a downward trend but still affects many parts of the country. Briefly explain the government of India's approach to counter the challenges posted by LWE. So thereby, when it says about the downward trend, ami at current affairs pohim recently, the government's multi-pronged approach, okay, that has make the whole region very much non-sensitive to all the demands that have been coming in the recent times. As it is not, we can see that this downward trend is because of various reasons. It may be the regions are social, the regions are political, okay, the regions are, I can say, economical. So there are various regions, and this particular question needs a relation with all the particular GS portions that you have studied. Kihor karone downward trend hol? Internal security thakiboi, tar logot you needs to have a government's approach. Government's approach or karone governance mechanism to sabo lagibo. What is the role of civil services? What is the role of the CAPF, Central Armed Police Forces? What were the plans that have been executed well? Okay, what is the type of social development, economical development, political development that has been done in this particular location? So, ek gute bostu bilak sabo lebo. And lastly, you have to write the particular challenges which you can say in it has done in relation to the LWEs. Next question which came around in 2020. 2017, then the 2 years gap. 2 years gap. 2 years gap at ki hudile? What are the determinants of left-wing extremism in eastern part of India? What strategy should government of India, civil administration and security forces adopt to counter the threats affected areas? Again, the relation of governance, that is a portion of GS2 alongside the internal security. ठीक है से? तो यहाँ पे again the left-wing extremism came into prominence after a gap of 2 years. ठीक है से? Now, this is the last question which got aroused in 2022. Okay, again with a gap of 2 years. 2020 khudile, aku 2022 rahile etu bostu. Naxalism is a social, economical and developmental issue manifesting as a violent internal security threat. In this context, discuss the emerging issues, just a multi-layer strategy tackle to the manage of Naxalism. This is the recent amount of question which has been asked. Etia, if I say about Naxalism today or if I say about Maoism today, this is a problem which has not only affected the eastern corridor. It has reached even to some of the northern belt of India, to some of the northeastern belt of India, where we can see the traces of Maoism or Naxalism in this particular location. Fine. So thereby, here you need to have an understanding of social, economical and developmental issues. And for development, you definitely needs to know various government policies, the government's mechanisms. You definitely needs to know. So thereby, you have to discuss a multi-layer approach. It should not be one approach. Ki education bhal kore dim, thik hoy jabo. Okay, you should go ahead with a multi-layer approach. And thereby, you should understand the context of this question that has got its relation with the other particular subjects and definitely with a current affairs. So what I have discussed in the very first time, you can say about the topics which needs to be covered in the internal security portion. Azir not ami jiban khini syllabus, because we don't know perfectly the syllabus. Azir not bahut manue perfectly syllabus khone buji na pai ba perfectly syllabus khone na jane the demand of the syllabus. Jodi ami syllabus wise ami jodi questions bilak differentiate korilo, ultimately we can excel in the upcoming mains in a very easy way in that particular subject. So similarly, yate linkages between development and spread of extremism, these were the questions which ultimately came down in UPSC from where you can have a preparation of. Okay. Etia, alongside this, there is a particular things which was in news. What was in news? This is basically a cutout from the PIB. Okay, this is basically a cutout from the PIB, that is the Press Information Bureau. Okay, so here this is basically a review meeting which basically held in 2024-25. Union Home Minister and Ministry of Cooperation Shri Amit Shah pays tributes to the martyrs at the Shahid Smarak in Jagdalpur, Chhattisgarh, and we all know Chhattisgarh is a hotbed for the Maoist activities. Chhattisgarh is a hotbed for Maoist activities. Okay, and meets with the families of the martyred soldiers and victims of Naxal violence. Shri Amit Shah assured that after March 31, 2026, not a single drop of blood will be shed in the name of Naxalism on the sacred lay of Ma Danteshwari. Okay, so this is a very, just like I can say Assam is recognized with Ma Kamaikha. Assam is recognized with Ma Kamaikha. In the same way, Chhattisgarh is recognized with Ma Danteshwari. Amar Shahid Smarak will honor the martyrs who made the supreme sacrifice and inspire future generations to dedicate their lives to the welfare of the others. The Modi government is committed to supporting the families affected by Naxal violence, and the Chhattisgarh government is working decisively to ensure no one loses their loved ones to Naxal violence. So this is basically a cutout of a recently held review meeting by the Ministry of Home Affairs, and also since he has paid tribute to the martyrs at the Shahid Smarak in Jagdalpur, okay, and also met with the martyred soldiers and victims of Naxal violence. So he has assured the people of this particular region that from March 31, 2026, we have a target to eradicate Naxalism from the core of India. So this is a type of current affairs which you need to inculcate in your respective studies. If I say about a particular news firm, you can say that this is particularly the government mechanism which is basically used for Naxalism. That is a three-pronged carrot and stick strategy. अगर मान जाओ तो कैरेट देंगे, और अगर नहीं मानो तो स्टिक देंगे. स्टिक मतलब क्या? गोली खाएंगे. वो लोग गोली खाएंगे. Which involves security measures, development and empowerment. ये बहुत important है whenever you talk about Maoist thing. The three-pronged approach. एक है security provide करेंगे, security तो रहेगा ही रहेगा. दूसरा क्या है? दूसरा developmental काम करेंगे हम लोग. डेवलपमेंटल काम करेंगे हम लोग. और तीसरा क्या? हम लोग उन सब लोगों को एम्पावर करेंगे. अगर लोगों के पास काम करने के लिए कुछ होगा, अगर लोगों को कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा, वहां पे उनके पास काम रहेगा, तो कौन जंगल में जाएंगे? कौन जंगल में जाएंगे? कोई नहीं जाएगा. दैट इज द क्रक्स ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर 3-pronged carrot and stick strategy that involves सिक्योरिटी, वो तो प्रोवाइड करेंगे ही करेंगे, डेवलपमेंटल काम भी करेंगे, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस बैठाएंगे वहां पे, कम्युनिकेशन फैसिलिटीज बढ़ाएंगे, कनेक्टिविटीज बढ़ाएंगे, वो तो करेंगे। उसके बाद हम लोग उसको एम्पावर भी करेंगे। तब वहां पे जब लोग काम करेंगे, सीखेंगे कुछ, तो अल्टीमेटली ये पूरा जो प्रॉब्लम है वो जड़ से उखाड़ देंगे हम लोग। सो दैट इज द पर्टिकुलर अप्रोच दैट नीड्स टू टेक, दैट इज द कैरेट एंड स्टिक पॉलिसी। तो अगर मैं आज आपको ये पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन लिखने दूं, अगर मैं आपको ये पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन लिखने दूं, नेक्सलिज्म इज अ सोशल इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंटल इशू मैनिफेस्टिंग एज अ इन दिस कंटेक्स्ट डिस्कस द एमर्जिंग इश्यूज, जस्ट अ मल्टीलेयर स्ट्रेटेजी टू टैकल द मेनेस ऑफ नेक्सलिज्म। इस मल्टीलेयर स्ट्रेटेजी में डेफिनेटली आपका ये जो 3-pronged स्ट्रेटेजी है ये भी घुस जाएगा, और आपको यहां पे भी लिखना पड़ेगा कैरेट एंड स्टिक के बारे में। ठीक है, ओके। आज के टाइम में व्हाट आर द डेवलपमेंटल इश्यूज दैट आर रिलेटेड टू राइज एंड स्प्रेड ऑफ एक्सट्रीमिज्म? फॉरेस्ट पॉलिसी है, इसको हम लोग को चेंज करना पड़ेगा। लैंड अलाइनेशन है, ठीक है, लैंड एक्विजिशन फॉर स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन है, डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड रिहेबिलिटेशन, ये सब ठीक करना पड़ेगा, यही एक मेन कोर प्रॉब्लम था उनका। लेबर अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड वेजेस, ये ठीक हो जाएगा कहां से? एम्पावरमेंट से। ठीक है, डिस्प्लेसमेंट रिहेबिलिटेशन, ये कैसे? डेवलपमेंटल एक्टिविटीज आराम से जब करेंगे हम लोग तो इनको डिस्प्लेस किया जाएगा, और इस डिस्प्लेसमेंट के ट्रॉमा से इनको निकालने के लिए हम लोग को उनको एम्पावर करना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, तो ये हम लोग को अच्छे से, अगर हम लोग लाइक ये मेनली जो इश्यूज थे, इस इश्यूज को हम लोग अच्छे से शॉर्ट कर पाए, तो अल्टीमेटली वी कैन मेक देम वेरी आउट फ्रॉम द मेनेस ऑफ द मेन ग्रेव प्रॉब्लम ऑफ इंडियाज इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी, दैट इज नेक्सलिज्म। तो आज के टाइम में हम लोग यही सब को अच्छे से अगर डिटेल्स में पढ़े, डेफिनेटली वी कैन मेक our APSC CCE Mains in your upcoming times successful, as well as we can make the examination clear with this particular approach. पहले सिलेबस जानो, सिलेबस का कंटेंट क्या है। आज जैसे लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म का मैंने बहुत सारा यहां पे क्वेश्चंस दिखा दिया आप लोग को, बिकॉज LWE is also a form of extremism। तो इस कंटेक्स्ट में आपको कैसा कंटेंट मिलेगा, आपको उस क्वेश्चन को एनालाइज कैसे करना पड़ेगा, कौन से सब्जेक्ट के साथ रिलेशन करना पड़ेगा आपको, ऊपर से करंट अफेयर्स कौन सा रीसेंट रहेगा जो इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो कि आ सकता है, बिकॉज करंट अफेयर्स बेस से ही आपको स्टैटिक वाला क्वेश्चन मिलेगा। ठीक है, आजकल कोई भी डायरेक्टली ऐसे पूछ नहीं देते कि व्हाट इज लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म, एक्सप्लेन इज चैलेंजेस एंड रीजन, नो, सबको ये ऐसे नहीं करेंगे। सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द कोर डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, और उसी हिसाब से आपको कंटेंट मिलेगा, करंट अफेयर्स मिलेगा, ये सब आपको मिलेगा कहां पे? हमारे जो APSC मेंस क्रैश कोर्स है, विच इज जस्ट एट अ रुपीज ऑफ अराउंड 5000। ऑलरेडी यहां पे क्लासेस स्टार्ट हो चुका है। यहां पे हम लोग फोकस प्रिपरेशन करेंगे और आंसर राइटिंग प्रिपरेशन जो हम लोग प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, टॉपिक वाइज, सब टॉपिक वाइज हम लोग अच्छे से प्रिपरेशन करेंगे। अगर वो करंट अफेयर्स में है, दैट बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, और उसका ट्रेंड एनालिसिस भी करेंगे, और ऊपर से यू विल गेट द टेस्ट सीरीज अ टोटल ऑफ अराउंड 30। अगर सिंगल हैंडेडली कोई टेस्ट सीरीज खरीदने जाए तो यू कैन गेट इट एट ₹3000। ओके, ऑल्सो दिस इज द GS फाउंडेशन कोर्स where all the respected faculties are there who will take your classes. Already the admissions are open. You have got your time slots being 8 AM to 11 AM, 11 AM to 2 PM, 3 PM to 6 PM and 7 PM to 9:30 PM. तो ये पूरा प्रोसेस है, ये पूरा टाइम स्लॉट्स है, फेवरेबल टाइम स्लॉट्स आप ले सकते हो। ओके, और जो अपकमिंग APSC CCE मेंस है उसके लिए आप लोग आराम से प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो। एंड वी ऑल नो that with this particular approach that I have taught you today, we can definitely clear the mains in the upcoming time period. So मैंने क्वेश्चंस दिखा दिया, ऊपर से इस क्वेश्चन सब का आपको मॉडल आंसर्स भी हम लोग दे देंगे। और उस मॉडल आंसर्स के एक दो दिन जब देख लेंगे आप लोग तो आराम से उस मॉडल आंसर्स से यू कैन राइट एंड फ्रेम योर ओन आंसर्स। तो सिलेबस डिस्कशन, सिलेबस के साथ जो इंपॉर्टेंट कंटेक्स्ट है पीवाईक्यूज के साथ वो डिस्कस करके मॉडल आंसर्स के साथ प्रोबेबल क्वेश्चंस हम लोग करेंगे। एंड दैट इज द अप्रोच दैट CSAP IAS Academy is taking for your APSC CCE Mains that will be upcoming by September. So I hope that you have understood the respective approach that needs to be taken and also that has to be taken by every candidate, by every aspirant who wants to become a civil servant by this particular year. Okay, so this is the foundation course, this is the mains course at 5,000 rupees, and if you want to take a single-handedly course, you can take the test series at just rupees 3,000, where everything that has been given, the features, you can study, you can pause this particular video, you can go ahead with the respective features and also with the features that you are attaching here with the APSC Mains crash course. Okay, so this two are very important for your upcoming mains and anyone who is preparing for the APSC exams. Okay, so this is all with the today's one. We will be coming up with more exciting subjects. All the subjects we will cover in this 50 days session, and with that we will be analyzing deeply with how you needs to get an approach with the subject specifics, with the syllabus specific subjects, and then ultimately how you can tackle the PYQs and some of the probable questions alongside the current affairs that you needs to revise before your APSC mains. So that is all for today. Thank you from my side. All the best for every preparations that you all are doing for any government exams or any competitive examinations. We all are here for you. If there is any requirement that you need, you can call us via the number 9127515541. So that is all for today from my side. Thank you all. Good luck and Jai Hind.